Hey, what's up everybody? Let's talk about electric eels. Imagine going to unplug your phone charger, but instead of a little spark, bam! You're blown across the room. These slippery dudes pack a serious punch. We're talking hundreds of volts of electricity, enough to make your hair stand on end and then some. You ever accidentally touched a live wire and got a little jolt? Yeah, that's cute. Now imagine that feeling, but multiply it by like 1,000. Electric eels can unleash a surge of up to 600 volts, which is stronger than your grandma's old TV set. We're talking enough power to knock a horse off its feet. One zap from these slippery zappers and you'd be doing the electric slide. Straight to the emergency room. This much electricity isn't something to mess around with. Electric eels use their superpower for good too. Well, mostly for hunting, but that's good for the eel, right? Imagine being a fish just swimming along, minding your own business, and then zap. Dinner time for the electric eel. It's like having a superpower that doubles as a grocery shopping app. No lines, no checkout, just instant food delivery. They also use their powers to defend themselves. If a predator gets too close, the eel hits them with a blast of electricity that sends them running for the hills. Alright, so we know electric eels can deliver a wallop, but how do they actually make all that electricity? Electric eels have these special cells called electrocytes, and they're basically like living, breathing batteries. Think of it like this. Imagine your body is filled with thousands of tiny batteries all wired together. These electrocytes are stacked up like coins in the eel's tail, and when the eel wants to unleash its electric fury, it sends a signal from its brain to all those little batteries. And boom! Out comes a surge of electricity that would make even Thor jealous. It's like a biological supercapacitor, and it's totally mind-blowing. Now let's take a break from the science for a second and talk about some of the crazy stories people used to believe about electric eels. Back in the day, when people didn't understand electricity, they thought electric eels were like magical creatures. Imagine sitting around a campfire swapping stories about the giant eels that could light up the night sky. Some folks even thought electric eels could power entire villages. Can you imagine? Honey, the electric eel isn't working, the TV is out. They'd tell tales of electric eels leaping out of the water and striking people dead with their lightning bolts. Of course, we know now that most of these stories are just that, stories. Alright, time to get back to the facts. Where do these shocking superstars hang out? Well, if you're ever trekking through the murky waters of the Amazon River basin, keep your eyes peeled. Electric eels love to call these warm, freshwater environments home. They're like the cool kids hanging out at the local swimming hole, except instead of cannonballs, they're doing electric shocks. And speaking of swimming, did you know that electric eels aren't actually eels? They're actually a type of knife fish, which makes sense when you think about how they use their electricity. Electric eels need to come up for air. That's right, these electrifying fish have to surface every now and then to gulp some oxygen. Hold on to your hats, folks, because I've saved the most shocking fact for last. Electric eels can actually control the intensity of their shocks. They're not just mindless zapping machines, they can dial their electrical output up or down, depending on the situation. If they're just trying to stun some prey, they might use a lower voltage, but if they're feeling threatened or they need to take down some larger prey, they can crank it up to 11 and unleash the full force of their electrical fury. It's like they have a built-in taser with adjustable settings. So there you have it, folks, the shocking truth about electric eels. These electrifying creatures are proof that nature is full of surprises. If you enjoyed this shockingly informative video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. And don't forget to let me know in the comments what other amazing animals you'd like me to cover next. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and watch out for those electric eels.